super informal about it because I need to
confirm.
Well, I do want to make sure.
It's spinning on the left.
Right, I know that is it a good thing that defaults to please end this video. Please don't put anybody through this.
Right.
Stop now. Don't do it. Heirloom Athletics is now live with just some talk about some things.
Well, then we should probably talk about some things.
Yeah, we should. How are you?
I'm well.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. I love Fridays.
I love Fridays.
Even during the summer, they're still like, I know I'm on summer vacation, but it's still Friday. It's got that feel to it. So.
I agree with that. I feel like with this, it's been an interesting thought of what is the week and what is the weekend.
Right.
And it doesn't matter. But there is something just special about Fridays and Sundays. I love Sundays. I love a lazy Sunday.
Lazy Sunday. Well, and I think our classes Fridays are, I think everybody kind of loosens up a little bit. Like they've survived the week and they end up working hard, but they come into the workout like, I'm just going to move.
I know.
And then the clock starts and like, oh, I'm going to throw down today. You're like, I knew you would. I do the same thing.
Yes. So by way of introduction, my name is Kara Bundy. This is Sean Ranke. We are 2/8 of Team Heirloom.
Don't ask me to do
3/15.
Yeah, 5 out of 4 people struggle with fractions. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
I think the main point is that you are a very small part.
Yes. Yes.
Minor.
And a jealous part because another member, Casey, is in Nashville right now, which is like my city.
Yes.
Her and her husband Jason are having a great time. And then sadly, Angie and Chris, 2 other coaches, they have like jobs. So they have to work.
That kind of sounds like bullshit.
I know, right.
Which was the possible other title that we went for this.
I think we still have something there.
We might maybe next week. So I actually begged you today to do this with me. Did I not?
It was a text thread while driving.
Oh.
I was like, and I saw this from you, and I'm like, wow, she's got something she needs to tell me.
Any text thread that ends with, yeah, this probably should have been a phone call or an email is a good one.
Yeah.
But I've had the idea for a while that I know that we want to do video here. We want to kind of help talk to people about what it is that we do at Heirloom and what's important to us and just how to relay that to people that are not in this facility. And I get a lot of really great messages from like members. I made some notes because I'm extraordinarily nervous. Some Facebook followers who live far away, so it's always fun to me to get like a Facebook message from somebody that doesn't even live here that's like, hey, I love that message that you send, which actually Inside Scoop on Facebook is managed by your lovely wife.
Lady behind the curtain, isn't that her nickname?
Yes, yeah. At work today.
Yeah, she has that job
That's
too.
Good job.
Yeah.
High school friends. I have some high school friends that I went to school with that kind of follow along. And then we also, thanks to Ironman of recent, and many are staying at the Hyatt, people that come from out of town that drop in with us. So they, share some fun things that I just think, it'd be great if the greater community could hear this.
Right.
And as I was making these notes, I thought, what would people think is a drop-in? Sean, this is my CrossFit word of the day. How would you define a drop-in?
So my definition of a drop-in would be somebody that is not a member of a box that is visiting an area and decides they want to attend a class.
Yeah. So CrossFit has a map. They have like a worldwide map. And if you're an affiliate of CrossFit, you can Google, CrossFit and any destination, but you can also just go to their map, type in where you're going on vacation or where you're going to visit, type in the town, and it'll pull up all the CrossFit gyms that are local to that area. And so then you can go for a small fee. Our drop-in fee is $20. And we've had a lot of fun meeting people so I think our farthest drop-in away was from Colorado, which is amazing. We had a gym owner from somewhere in Michigan that came for a few days. Eric had just some really nice things to say, which is something we should talk about another time. His gym does a thing called random shit. Okay. Similar to bullshit.
Different types of shit, but
you
don't have to dig on theirs.
Right. There's no rhyme or reason to it, Samantha. Unlike our normal structured gym.
And recently, Sam, who was at the Hyatt for seminar for work, and came in 2 or 3 times.
Yes.
Which was great. We saw him for like 3 days. By the end of the time by the time he left, it felt like he was a member.
I know.
Come back next time you're in the area. So.
And Pete from North Carolina, he was traveling through, staying at the Hyatt, going to see his son graduate from college in New York. Came into a class on Friday or Thursday, and then back on Monday. So that was really cool.
Selfies involved. He was all about it.
Yes,
yeah.
I know.
Drop-ins are fun. We've done it. Sue and I have done it. And when we were down in Nashville, Casey and Jason, I think Jason did it yesterday, and I think they're trying again today somewhere in Nashville. You know, at first, for anybody out there who's intimidated by it, you know, as soon as you walk in, they're so welcoming. They're excited to meet somebody from a different place, a different box. It's enlightening to us to see how other people do things.
Yeah.
You can bring back little tidbits of like, hey, they had this or they did this, and it also helps you appreciate what you have. I feel with Heirloom, that is something that when I do go other places, although I always have a nice time, I'm always like, oh, this is definitely home. Like, you know, it's your happy place. So
that's sweet.
But yeah, drop-ins are fun.
Do you have a favorite place that you've dropped in?
Well, my favorite place, because it was called Black Label CrossFit in Nashville.
Did you exercise?
We did exercise,
okay.
yeah, but they just had their space was so big that it was just wow. It wowed me. I think is why I enjoyed that space the most. But they've all been, you know, it's kind of funny. You walk in kind of timid, and then you introduce yourself, and they're like, "Welcome," and then like, we're going to warm up, and you grab your stuff and you do your workout like you do. It's just the same. Like everybody's doing their own thing. So, you know, where maybe if you went somewhere where you thought eyes were on you, nobody's, you know, the coach is watching, but everybody else is working out. They're just cool. There's somebody new there. So how about you?
Well, I was going to say, I love that actually ties in really well with what we're going to talk about today, because it can be really intimidating to go in somewhere new and try new things, or even to go, I think there is some thought that like, hey, if I'm going to drop into a gym when I'm on vacation, then the expectation is that I'm just a really fit athlete.
Right.
When that's not the case.
Not at all.
It's just people that really like to sustain a healthy lifestyle and try to do so on vacation. But one of the messages that I got recently, I'm going to pull it up just so I can read it verbatim, because it was actually a text that instigated this conversation and ties into what we were just talking about, and trying new things around people that you might not necessarily know, and a conversation that you and I had not too long ago. So you can imagine how, I mean, I would have to say proud I felt when I read the message, right? And just, I don't know, some future discussion. But here's the text, and not from an anonymous member of Heirloom, will say. So wanted to share a thought. It says, you posted about the gym not being a place of vanity. It took me a long time to believe that. I now have confidence to wear tank tops, not because I think my arms look good. I know they don't, but because it's okay that my arms don't look good, and I'm there for my whole body. I also now wear what is most practical for the workout. I mean, those are words right there. Not what I think is most flattering. Thank God, because there's not much about an overhead lunge that's flattering. If my underwear line is showing, then so be it. If my shirt is a little too tight, but it's not going to fly up and down while jumping, then so be that too. You have created an environment of acceptance in others, and more importantly, to yourself. Thank you. So first of all, thank you, right? I mean,
that's huge.
Can we just think about that for a second?
Gives you warm
hugs.
Yeah.
And the conversation that you and I just had, so a little bit of context and backstory. When Joel and I moved back here to Cambridge in 2017, I was at the fittest I've ever been in my life, which would also equate to leanest, most commercially aesthetically pleasing, let's say.
That's good verbiage. I like that. Commercially aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
She was ripped, people.
Oh, the good old days. No, you know, so there is a lot of evolution that comes through the process of shifting the way that you work out or prioritize exercise. At the time, I was coming from an environment where I really thrived on basically doing whatever it took to beat my training partners in workouts, right? And a lot of that has to do with what you eat in the kitchen and what your nutrient breakdown is. And a lot of that is what translates into body composition. So as I've moved here, shifted focuses, started something new with a totally different kind of just priority level in my life, watching my body and my habits evolve through that is something that I think I'm learning that many people don't understand that I necessarily would struggle with, just like everybody else, right? Like you want to be appealing, but at the same time, if I'm gonna hope that anybody would come here and feel so comfortable as to wear what they felt most comfortable in and try a movement that they might not be great at, I have to be willing to do that as well. And as these temperatures have started to get hot, you know, there is this thing, and whether it's a CrossFit gym thing or not, of like, you take your shirts off. And I think at one point where that was a no-brainer for me, it has become something that I've had to really put a lot of thought into. And my decision with myself was, well, if I'm going to, you know, encourage people to feel comfortable in their own bodies, I have to model that same behavior. And so I can't make a decision of whether or not I'm going to wear a shirt based on any fear of what somebody else might think of my body.
Right.
And sometimes it's just hot in here.
Without a doubt. And that's where, you know, I've thought about that. Like, my shirt comes off as soon as I start sweating. And it's just being comfortable. Like I've said, I would love a six-pack. I mean, I'm sure I would, but the things that I need to give up, I think I could get there.
Also
maybe.
Love being like,
I love happy hour after 4:30 class on a Friday, right? Like that's not a goal of mine that I'm willing to make the sacrifices to get there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like you said, this is my family I'm working out with. If I'm hot, the shirt's coming off.
Yeah.
And I would hope, you know, it's funny, I think a lot of people may misconceive how we feel, you know, but I know that us as coaches, like that we're totally confident.
Right.
Like that shirt's coming off because I feel like I'm a stud.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, no. Right. Not at all. I got a nice little roll going here. And I know that if I lean a certain way, it might look a little better, but if I come this way, oh, look at that. That's, you know, and
I can feel we had 150 double unders today. I mean, there is a noticeable difference, in case anybody is wondering, in how your body feels with even just 5 percentage point of leanness. So
I feel it in my running. You know, I'm carrying a little more weight in my running.
Oh my gosh. And with the heat now, I think my legs feel swollen, my feet, my ankles, like figuring out the change in temperature, and then how those decisions that we're making in the kitchen and with our food are having that effect compounded with extra heat and excess water. Your body's literally trying to survive in this like 170 degree temperature, like figuring it out.
And we want you to be comfortable in every way. So kind of also going with that, you posted the other day where I was doing a movement without the kettlebell and another member, Kelly, was doing a movement with the kettlebell. And it's like, well, what's up? And I want you to be as comfortable whether you have weight on the bar or whether you have a shirt on or not. Like, just do you, be you. In that moment, I hate Turkish get-ups, and I'm not good at them. And it was a warm-up, and I was already sweating. And I'm like, no, I'm not putting a kettlebell in my hand for this movement. I'm going to do the movement right.
Yeah.
I'm not going to struggle. I still got the same warm-up. I still got the same stimulus. I just didn't. And I didn't look around to see who was and who wasn't, right? I didn't know who, because the coach said you can or cannot do it with the kettlebell. So that was my choice. And, I don't look around to see who is or is not wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just doing me in a place that I feel comfortable doing me. And
that's awesome.
I think when we get texts like this, where there are other members that are coming to that realization, that makes me really happy, because that's exactly how I want everybody to feel when they're working out, where it's like, well, I feel obligated to put a plate on the bar, or when members say, well, I didn't do as much as you, or just stop.
I only did.
That phrase I hate.
I hate it, right? Because I find that I gravitate towards that as well because I've been modifying a lot for whatever's going on with my shoulders. And so there are movements that don't feel well. And so I'll do them more strict with a lighter weight. And in my head, even though I feel like I've crushed the workout, doing like heavier, more rep front squats, but lighter strict press, I'll be like, well, I only use the 12-pound dumbbells. And it's like, why am I even saying that to myself? But it's that habit. Like, I think one thing that maybe we realize is that everybody has those thoughts, but you really just have to question them. Be willing to like question yourself when you have that thought and talk yourself out of it, and not like wallow in that, not let that be the reality, because it's not an only. You made the right decisions for your body for today. You're coming back tomorrow. You left here feeling better than when you started. You got better at the movement. You challenged your lung cardiovascular capacity more if you went lighter on the weight. You got better at that particular movement that day. There's just so many different wins to that workout that there isn't an I only did this in any situation, unless you just really felt like you were sandbagging it. And then even if you did, maybe you just needed it. Maybe that's what your body needed for that day. Yeah.
Still moved, you know.
Yeah.
And we've learned that it's easy for us to tell the members or other people than for us to do it, you know. And I struggle with my back. Angie's had several struggles. You've had several struggles. Chris has had several struggles. I think Casey of the coaching staff, Casey's been...
She's the youngest.
She's the youngest.
She's the baby.
And she's in Nashville.
She doesn't know.
I mention
I know,
so,
right? We're not better at it.
But
Casey who?
But right, without a doubt, right? Yeah, I think she just got fired. As a matter of fact,
I don't even know what you're.
If you haven't been injured, you can't coach here.
No. You're not old. Broken. We don't want you.
But it is. Yeah, it's hard. But it like you said, I always try to sell when I'm trying to tell somebody that this is the place for them, that you can always do a workout no matter what your limitation is. And that's true with injury too. I mean, Jason Scott worked out with one arm for however long, and now look at him, he's back, you know, so we're not saying it's easy, but it's doable.
Yeah, and I think we probably are more empathetic than you might think. So if you wanted to have that one-on-one conversation too about struggles, because I think some people, I think there is just some ego involved sometimes of just worrying about identifying as somebody who can lift a certain amount of weight or do a certain, you know, do the workout rep scheme that's written on the board. And we really just don't care about that. We're way more disappointed if you don't feel like you got a good workout. We'd rather have you, you know.
And we say it a lot.
We do.
And we're hoping eventually you hear it. Like, we say a lot of things repetitively.
We do.
And many of you have picked up on the vibe, thankfully, where I see some members that they come in already knowing that, hey, I want to do this. But we really don't care if it says 10 of something and you do 8. We really don't care. Or if it says you got to do this and you do that.
Yep.
We're just here for fitness and supporting each other and doing it safely, right? That's, at the end of the day, let's not get hurt.
Yep.
Or hurt any worse.
Right. Or hurt anybody else.
But yeah, we don't. And I the other day, and now it's been my latest jam, is like the workout's written in chalk. Right? It's not written in stone.
Ooh.
It's written in chalk.
Yeah.
And I like that, right?
Yes.
Run club the other day, I put 5 by, and I'm like, no, 4. It's literally that easy, right? When you're writing on your dry erase board, just change that number.
It is that simple.
It's that simple.
It's just harder in our brain. Yeah,
and we understand struggles.
Yeah. So to bring it back to the text one, we love the messages, so keep them coming. If you had anything that you would want to hear us talk about or anything about Heirloom that you're interested in knowing, definitely let us know. You can send a DM to Facebook. And we just want it to be a place that everybody feels comfortable in, to kind of do whatever feels right for you for that day. We give you some intended stimulus for the workout, but if you need to come in your sumo wrestling suit, to get it done, wear it.
Wear it.
We love it.
Wear it and own it.
Yep.
Yep, totally.
And we can help you make the right decision for you for that day. Absolutely. And that doesn't mean that that's what you're relegated to for the rest of your fitness career or even that week or the next day.
The next day.
Or even if you try something in the warm up, that doesn't even mean you're committing to doing it for the workout.
Nope. You can have, as we like to call, a buffet of options.
You can.
You can have a buffet of options and then.
Hi!
How serendipitous is this?
You're on.
Well, you don't know. Come over here.
No, please come.
Come here. Come here.
No,
Come here.
honestly, your timing could not be better. Hi, Emily.
Hi, everyone.
That's fantastic. We have 3 people watching. This is a
Well, I
good
mean,
deal.
there's 4
I don't
now.
know.
I
Do we
don't
have
know.
4?
There's the whole 4.
There's 4.
There's Matt O'Connell. Matt O'Connell says he's been struggling with that with his right elbow,
Yes.
particularly yesterday. Yeah.
He's doing a good job. We're proud of you, Matt. He has done a good job.
I
of,
missed
like,
it.
He, you know, and of course I could tell after the workout, it's not what he wanted to do, but it's what he needed to do in order to
Yes.
continue to heal, in order to be able to do normal movement for what is Matt's normal movement as soon as possible.
Yep. I can relate to
So-
that, Matt. I'm having the same struggle with thrusters.
Don't,
Well,
don't
so
leave.
can we
You don't get to
go back to
leave.
this? Yes,
You don't
no,
get to leave.
we actually have some announcements, and one of them was going to be about the 5K. So can we talk about the 5K?
Sit in my chair.
Yeah,
Sit in my chair. It's really warm. I warmed it up.
So, back to that, Matt. We can chat about conversation about my poor thrusters. But a couple of upcoming events that we have tomorrow. We have a 5K. We're turning our Saturday 9 a.m. class into a 5K. It's unsanctioned. It's an open course. Nobody's going to protect you on the roads. If you get lost in Cambridge, I mean,
Good luck.
to each his own. But we are doing it to support the Pups for Patriots initiative from American Humane. And you just brought us some bubbly from 414. Is that right?
Did, yes. They
And of
donated some bottles for our mimosas in the morning. So, so I would say come out, have fun for a good cause, but you'll also get bubbly at that.
Yes.
Right.
So, I mean,
Yes.
We like to bribe people with booze.
Whatever it
Yeah.
takes.
Is that healthy habit number 1?
That's right.
Life strategy.
work
Yeah,
hard and then play hard.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can come anytime after 8:30. We're going to start the clock probably right around 9:15. We have a pretty decent group of walkers, so it's not a race. It is a run, walk, jog at whatever pace you feel comfortable. I think the weather's going to be beautiful. I mean, kind of based
Like
on what it's been this
62.
week.
Oh.
It's gonna be gorgeous for
Money.
running.
Yes.
For running, you
My favorite
can't
running weather.
get it much better.
How fast are you going to run it in?
I don't know because I want to see what the crowd's doing, right? I think I might turn it. I'm going to use it as a way to get my long run in. So I think I might do a little bit of running by myself, which is, and then do a little bit of running with the group because, it's easier to finish with the group than to say I'm going to run with the group and then go out on my own again.
Yeah.
So that's tentatively but my son may show up.
You're off camera.
I know,
so you
but that's
know.
okay. It's like the voice. It's like the voice of. This is weird, but then I can't see Emily.
I'm all by myself.
So,
That's great.
this is,
You need like a little
here we go. Hold a second.
You guys, we are professionals.
Okay, so got an arm rest. Here we go. So I'm gonna turn this into a lazy boy, and well, Thomas may show up, and that he's got a mouth on him, and he likes to talk trash. And if that happens, and he gets a little spunky,
What about Connor?
then I'm gonna have to put my dad pants on. I can't run with Connor. Connor, I can't run a half a mile as fast as Connor runs a mile, so I ain't dreaming that one up. So this is so awkward.
Yes,
I
yes,
can't
it
tell
is.
you how awkward it is right now. But anyway,
Are
I'm
you
just
gonna
gonna drink
run
the
it?
champagne.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Awesome.
So it should be a lot of fun, and thank you all so much for supporting this cause that I know is makes so much difference in the lives of America's heroes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We love our veterans. We love our rescue.
Yes.
We love you.
Yes. Well, I love you all, and I'm gonna bid you adieu.
Yes.
There you go.
Thank you for crashing our party.
Come for the mimosa.
Yeah. And the run. Come for the run.
And first the run.
First the run.
Yeah. We need a shirt.
Yes, we do actually. Coming.
That's awesome.
Bye. See you. So the other announcement next on the list is Run Like the Wind.
Run Like the Wind.
What's that?
That is a class that we offer Wednesday nights at
Next to
6
see you
o'clock.
in an adult sized chair.
Yeah, it feels a little better. Although now my feet swing, so I just feel short. But anyway, yeah. So we created a run club, or a run class, in effort to try to get people to hate running less, which is per a member, Katie.
You got a rave review.
I
wrote it down. I'm going to read it verbatim.
Here we go.
It says, "I don't hate it as much as I thought I would." Katie T.
Victory. Victory, right? Like victory.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. I had the same response.
In all sincerity, like that's great, right? Because running is something that many people hate doing.
Or at least have in their mind they think they hate it.
Right. And
I think there's some sense of dread to it. But it's such a great, I'm not going to.
Go ahead, do it.
Well, I'm participating in it. You are coaching. We do it right up front. We run circles around the parking lot. We don't know how far we're going. We do it based on perceived effort.
Yep.
And it is awesome. Like, I always just feel so accomplished after. And the thing that I keep telling everybody is that running, that is like that easy adaptation of just because it's hard doesn't mean you can't do it anymore, which when we get to that like 4th and 5th round of those intervals, when it's like, does my hard pace have to really be as hard? But you're really only cheating yourself. And then when you like talk yourself into doing it, it's after that you feel like super proud of yourself. And then you have that like arsenal of, oh, remember that time that I thought that it was really hard and I should slow down, but then I didn't slow down and I was fine. Like that carry over into workouts, and then also even just into non-fitness things. I think whenever you're in like a difficult situation that you're just like, oh, I can't handle this, like take a deep breath and then improve yourself.
Without a doubt. And I mean, my dad kind of raised me through running in many ways, where I didn't realize he was teaching me life lessons. But running for me did that, and I love then trying to pass on as much as I can to members where we do some things on how to stretch, we do some things on proper form, we're going to do things on psychology like you just alluded to, and then a workout, and all of it, is either usable or modifiable, so that there's nobody walking through the doors like our other classes that says, well, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't get anything out of this. And we have a wide array of abilities and goals, but it seems we're 2 weeks in that everybody has left both weeks like, this was good. Yeah. This was good. And that's my hope, is that, you at the end of the workout, you're like, okay, this he challenged me in a way I wasn't expecting. Yeah. And I'm still alive. It didn't kill me, and I hate running a little less.
Well, and I know as like a cross-country coach, like an official running coach, you were bummed initially about not being on a track. As like a regular adult who is never ever going to be in a situation where I need the skill of running on a track, I kind of love that we're just running around sidewalks in a parking lot, because that's where I'm ever going to be running ever, really. Like, I'm not training for the Olympics. I don't need to know what my 200-meter splits are.
Nope. And like a class in here where everybody's kind of picking different weights. Yeah. And nobody really notices what anybody else is doing because you're worried about what you're doing. Totally. When you guys are out there running, I mean, there's 20 people running in a big square. I love it. And nobody knows how far anybody ran.
And some of us are like running wider because we want to be on the shade and the sidewalk. Some of us are running outside of the sidewalk.
This week we had somebody created an interlude, which I loved. Right on the fly, they're like, you know what? I'm going to do this part of the park.
They're the bypass. They're the 495.
Yeah, so
you know who you are.
It's been wonderful, and it was hot.
So when is it?
It's Wednesdays at 6, and for members, it's free. It's not free. Forgive me. Everybody's like, whoa, what did I pay for? Hold on a second. Sean's just robbed me. Everybody who signed up is like, bullshit.
Total bullshit.
$40 for all sessions, although we're two in, but there's still 8 to go, or a drop-in of $10, and for non-members, a drop-in would be $20. Yep. So if you just wanted to come and see what it's like, it's a minor commitment, and then you can go from there, and you'll come back because it's amazing, and the group's amazing. Like, It really is a
It
need.
is.
I was worried about only having runners, right? So like runners show up, and I'm like, okay, well this is great. It would have been fun, but I like that there are people who want to become runners, or people who just want to hate running less, or
Yeah.
people who want to like just move, and everybody's out there. And
Yep.
so I like the diversity of their opinion and goal with running,
Yes,
and not being on a track really helps bring down the intimidation level.
I agree. And I think if you're anybody who knows that like running would be a good step for you, but you just can't get yourself to do it on your own, like just the accountability of the group is a game changer. Because I wouldn't be doing this if I was like, oh, you know what I'm going to do on Wednesday nights at 6 o'clock? I'm going to do intervals.
Right.
Like,
Not gonna
I
happen.
am. I'm not.
Just not gonna
No,
happen.
I'm not. But I could show up to class and then listen to whatever you say and then just do that.
Right.
And then I'm done.
Like everything else, right? Just show up.
Just
But,
show
but
up.
seriously, just
Yeah,
show up.
right.
You're going to do more than you would have if you didn't show up.
Yeah.
So it's been fun. So we have 8 more weeks, and it's going to run through the summer.
Yep.
And yeah, so come join us. It's good stuff.
And then the only other thing that's coming up in the fall, so this is a huge long term, but at Labor Day liftoff. So we do a really big event on Memorial Day called Murph, which is a long cardio workout. Starts with a mile run or a run of your choosing distance. You do push-ups, pull-ups, squats, and then another run. So it's a long event, gets the heart rate going. So we thought a fun complement to that on Labor Day, the Saturday morning of Labor Day, would be to do team lifting. So powerlifting. We are finalizing exactly what lifts it will be. There will be 3 of them. Each team will be picked at random. So you can sign up that morning. We'll have a sign in that morning if you don't want to commit, but if you want to let us know. The idea is to have a great time and to lift some heavy shit and meet some new people maybe. So members and non-members, that they'll be pricing for that, and then we'll also be looking for some volunteers. So if you were interested in just being a part of it, you don't need any special skills to volunteer, but just to kind of help with logistics around on that day. We would just be interested in having a good time. So that's Saturday, September, I think it's the 4th in the morning, that Saturday of Labor Day. So,
and I would say for those on the fence, like, you know, who do lifting here, but they're like, whoa, it's a lifting competition.
yep,
I don't
right,
do, you know, I only lift, like, stop that first of all. But what we've learned when we do events like this, like we did an event called Row Your Rower in the fall, maybe it was.
yeah.
Row Your Rower, sure. But when you have that atmosphere and you have that, the energy, it can really help you get a PR. So, whatever that is for you. But, you know, a lot of times in class, we don't really have the time to devote to a lift. And this is a great opportunity, you know, because you're strong, you've been doing this, and you know what you're doing. And now we're just going to add some cheering and some camaraderie of a team. And that might get you, you know, another plate on the bar, or it might get you, whatever might get you. But you're more likely to get your best lift the Saturday of Labor Day than by yourself during open bar. Just saying. So
I feel like the same thing carries over to running.
Mhm.
Like I feel like somehow or another, Casey and Michelle and I like find each other out no matter where we start, and then we're all at very similar running levels.
Mhm.
And so it's not like we're competing with each other, but you use that as a guidepost for like, hey, if she's getting away from me, then am I sandbagging? Like, do I really need to go slow? No, I can't keep up with her. It's just more uncomfortable.
I was watching that. I was watching that play out, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and so that works to our advantage, right? Like if you're just, it's almost
You get more out of it,
the good camaraderie.
without a doubt. Without a doubt. It's all in a positive light of competition. Right?
Yeah.
It's all in the positive.
We call it positive peer pressure too.
Yeah.
Because you know, friends encouraging you to do things that are healthy for you. I mean, it is peer pressure.
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing this with me.
Sure.
I'm happy that.
She made me. She made me. There was no text. She made not. I still think we should call. What we're saying we're gonna call it?
Just a bunch of bullshit.
Just a bunch of bullshit. It's a podcast. I feel like we got something here. I feel like, and then don't like hit me in the likes, or don't they say stuff like that?
Smash that like I don't know.
Smash that like button. We need you to subscribe in this corner and then hit the like button in that corner. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
It's ridiculous.
But hopefully all of our fancy graphics came through.
Right, for next week or next one after we doing these.
And if you have any feedback or anything that you want to know, let us know. Hit us up.
Yeah.
We're going to skedaddle. You got to coach class.
We got some fitness going on.
We got some fitness coming on in 4:30.
Yep.
A little happy hour.
You know, because why not?
It's a rainy Friday. We're
What are you
hanging
gonna
out.
do? So we'll take 5 of those bottles of bubbly and put them in the fridge and I'm sorry.
Emily. Sorry, Emily. Sorry.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.